Due to the lack of an intersectional analysis, people weren't accepted because of their First Nations, Métis, Inuit, Afro-Indigenous, Black Indigenous identities. And settler queer folks expelled them. So another layer of displacement.
It's a relatively new term for an old idea. Two-Spirit, the 2S part of the 2SLGBTQ plus acronym. Dr. Percy Lazard says it was developed as a way to try and encompass both indigeneity and gender expression. At a Winnipeg conference in 1990, the term emerged as a way to encompass the various different gender expressions that appear in North American Indigenous cultures.
Who were we? What were the words in our languages? And so there was a movement of people finding out cultural specific, land specific words in their own languages for who they are as a result of having access to this concept gifted to us by Dr. Myra Laramie.
Lazard says gender in pre-contact Indigenous society wasn't always binary. Among the hundreds of unique North American Indigenous cultures, people with both female and male qualities appear again and again. For example, Blake Desjardins, a Two-Spirit MP, is Cree, and the words his people use for third genders aren't the same as Dr. Lazard's.
In the Cree tradition, for example, we would use the word Testawinuak to mean the people who are in between, or in between people.
I identify as Stamia, which is in my language a way to say that I'm Two-Spirit, and Menimchiks, what means that I'm gender diverse, meaning that I don't identify as a man or a woman, but I'm non-binary, which is part of the trans spectrum.
And that's a common misconception Lazard and Desjardins want to clear up. Just because someone is Two-Spirit doesn't mean they're trans, and someone who is trans and Indigenous is not necessarily Two-Spirit. While people of any culture can be transgender, being Two-Spirit is intrinsically an expression of Indigenous spirituality and rooting in community.
The kinship part is really important. And so, for example, me and you are related. And Two-Spirit people, we can help to understand how we're related. And we're related far more than people would assume. You know, they'd say, oh, who's your parents? Who's your grandparents? It's, no, we're related on a much deeper sense. We're here at this time, at this place, and we're connected by the land physically. Me and you are connected like we're connected with others. And members of interconnected communities have roles.
The prominence of Two-Spirit people in communities is now being seen on a national scale as Two-Spirit people are emerging in art, culture, music, and politics. It's something Desjardins says is needed more than ever.
The need for healers, the need for teachers, the need for diplomats, the need for great chiefs are something that our people are still needing to do because we're not going anywhere. We're here and we're proud to be here.
Yes, Two-Spirit or gender diverse people were here prior to contact. Yes, these people in our communities actually were esteemed and held sacred roles. And yes, they were responsible for holding our people up.
In Ottawa, Xiaoli Li, City News.